Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Nettie Owens, and this series is What Businesses Need to Know Right Now. I've brought Sean Sutherland from Kapowza on to talk about marketing. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, happy to be here.
It's good to have you here. So, Kapowza provides creative solutions for startups, emerging brands, nonprofits, and associations through marketing advertising services aligned with graphic design, branding, website, video, and social media support. So, pretty much one-stop shop for everything marketing to get your business to be visible and have engagement. Is that right?
Yeah, it's almost as good as if I wrote it myself.
Oh. Are you hiring?
Always looking for copywriters,
Oh, there you go. Yes. So let's jump in here because marketing these days is tricky. Things are moving really quickly, and there's a lot going on. So if you can just start us off with what are some effective tools for marketing now that maybe they're different than a year ago.
Well, it's a great topic. I love talking about it. Right now is a great time to get your message out there on social and digital platforms. A lot of people obviously are stuck at home right now. A lot of people should be at home right now. And so they're spending a lot more time on those social networks, trying to feel connected, trying to do all the research that they need to, and then at the same time work, maybe have kids doing virtual learning. So a lot of attention is your attention is being grabbed in a lot of different places. So I always like to tell people right now, a good place to start is your social media channel, making sure that you are using that to kind of give a good update as to what you're doing. If you're a business that kind of serves customers, like in space kind of experience, right? How are you approaching coronavirus? How are you maintaining safety when people are coming to your store? If you're more of a goods service, how are people finding you? Are you sharing good reviews? Are you sharing good news about what's coming and what's happening? The other thing that I like, and I think this is, typically overlooked, but something that's definitely helped our business, a newsletter. A newsletter is a great way just to keep top of mind with folks. In my line of work and what I see a lot of people doing, they flood message boards, they flood, virtual networking events with their, elevator pitch written out. They're sending emails. You're still doing cold calls, and there's a time and place for all those things. But I think right now with people sitting at home, there's a lot less of a rush. There's a lot less of like I got to take care of myself. I got to take care of my family right now. What are the small things that brands can do to kind of stay top of mind? And for me, that's definitely social, digital, and a newsletter.
I love that you're bringing up a newsletter because I think there's often a sentiment, at least one that I hear bantered around, that email's dead. And we've talked about this in the past. It's not, so we're not going to rehash that. But a newsletter is really specific. These are people who have raised their hand, opted in, and said they want to hear from you. Yep. And if you're not communicating with them, you're missing an opportunity to stay top of mind, but also to share relevant information that could help them. And when the time is right for them to buy, you haven't been around. So you're missing an opportunity to be consistent and trustworthy. Mm-hmm. What are maybe some elements that you recommend for a newsletter? I know there's different ways that you can do it. Like, yeah. I understand. I just said, what's your favorite recipe for lasagna to an Italian family, right? But what are some pieces that tend to work really well, or you should definitely include?
Okay, so there's a couple things I like to do with all of our newsletters. Number one is personal. It might come off a little, for me, right? You're sending an email that's not designed. It looks like you just kind of have X for the name, X for the company name. You send that. Don't do that kind of stuff. What I'm talking about more is if someone is opening your newsletter that is opted in, calling them by their first name, if that's how your brand is kind of, talking about, that's a good way to kind of foster some good relationships as well. I think the biggest issue I run into with newsletters is a lack of brevity. You don't need to give away everything in that newsletter. Newsletters needs to tease. Newsletter need to be really quick kind of tidbits that someone can take, digest, insert it into their day and move on. But maybe they have some links in your newsletter. always have a couple kind of call to actions. The way that we kind of do our newsletter at Kapowza, we always do it as looking back, as saying, hey, if it's today, today's March, we're looking back and saying, hey, what did we do in February? And take a look. So for those people that aren't paying attention on our social media channels or following our Twitter, it's a good recap for people. But again, it's really quick. We have one or two things in there, and then we always leave them with either something to kind of light up their day, maybe some sharing information. I think we really took a stance last year with the tumult with everything involving the coronavirus and Black Lives Matter protests around the state. We were really trying to address what people needed at those times. So 1 month, instead of really talking about ourselves, we talked about, here's all the local, resources that you might need, or here's who you can contact if you're struggling with PPP loans. The other thing was our commitment in reaffirming how we support Black Lives Matter and becoming a more diverse and inclusive company. And the third one, because we knew that, kids were going to start virtual learning and parents kind of needed a break, we built a little activity guidebook for people to print out at home and just give it to their kids or use it themselves. I mean, we just really want to be a good distraction someone can use in the day, look forward to it. We're not doing it every week. It's once a month kind of thing, maybe two if there's a holiday in there. But to recap, brevity, personalization really works. Have some sort of call to action, but don't give away the goat in the newsletter. Just do enough to tease them out so that they're interested in picking up the phone or emailing you or going to your website.
Awesome. I love that. I love how you stay relevant and really serve what your customers are needing, like forward thinking, what do my customers need? What would be helpful? How can I bring this to them? Even if it isn't something you provide, but, curating that information.
Yeah.
So what has been successful for small businesses and small budgets?
Yeah, I again, hate to beat a dead horse, but again, digital marketing, social media has been really big right now. The targeting capabilities on a Facebook or a LinkedIn are really impressive at the moment. The other thing that I'm seeing a really nice kind of comeback, because I'm a physical mail kind of guy. I love getting a box. I love getting a handwritten letter. I've been seeing a ton of that stuff out there. And again, right, everything is digital. There's so much, just feeling of isolation, and people are just not connecting right now. And so it's a perfect time to pull out a letter, pull out an envelope, buy stamps, keep the postal service afloat, guys. They're a lovely service, but send a letter, send a note, thank people. People getting mail right now and getting some sort of box or tchotchke or thing that's, just kind of makes them smile. That's going to really do a lot for them and for your brand.
Absolutely. I love that connection. It's something that we're really missing, and it's fun. Like I sent out a mailing in December, print mailing, gave everybody a little door hanger that said, business, like quiet, growing business inside. And I had so much fun sending that out. So it was a joy for me. And I love that reminder to fall back on some, tried and true practices that work. It really connecting to your people. Really quickly, we've got just not even a few minutes. We got like a minute here. How important is video with marketing? We've talked now about digital, social, newsletters, and then print. And now we're circling back around to video. What's your viewpoint here? I mean, we're on video, so I'm thinking
we're on video. So, we could talk about how it's important here, but no, video absolutely is by far and away the easiest way to transmit information. It's the most enjoyable way to digest information. And it's what most of us are going to distract ourselves or enjoy, right? Commercials have their place, but now what you're seeing is bite-sized pieces of content that you can use throughout the year, throughout a month, talking and sharing little tidbits, little updates, little quick little things. TikTok has exploded because people are really hungry for good video content, and someone is now parked in front of my light. So I apologize for that one.
Is that the cat?
Yeah, that is the cat. Anyway.
Total eclipse of the cat.
But no, yeah, it's video is super important. Video done correctly and video done with a purpose that is enjoyable, entertainable, and informative. You got a home run right there.
Awesome. This has been super helpful. So glad to just have you kind of connect all the dots with us today. If people are looking to get in touch with you, what should they do?
I would say head to my LinkedIn or the link below. It's a perfect way to kind of start a conversation with me. I love helping out people. I love connecting people. And I really appreciate this opportunity, Nettie.
Thanks. It's been great to have you on.
Take care.